It's time to knock some things off your bucket list. First up, travel the world. If you've always wanted to visit Hong Kong or vacation in the Swiss Alps and wondered what it was like, well, Jeanette, Yvette, and Tina got the scoop for you. These Jet Setting Divas are always at some fun and exotic place experiencing the best of what life has to offer. And each week, they'll tell you all about it. These ladies are always high-flying loads of fun.
Hi, I'm Jeanette.
I'm Yvette.
And I'm Tina, and we are the Jet Setting Divas. Hey, ladies!
Hey, what's going on? We're Seattle.
Yes, we're in Seattle. What's going on? What
We're
we doing?
a little something different this week. We're not in our normal city.
Yeah.
We are here in Seattle, Washington. And we are here at Beer Star with Deveaux.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Deveaux. This is Deveaux. Deveaux, the owner, operator, has 2 locations. We're gonna let Deveaux give a little, intro. Tell us about your business. Tell us where we're at. What we're doing.
So we're in Seattle, Washington. We're actually in a neighborhood called White Center, Washington, just outside of downtown Seattle. This is our first location, Beer Star.
Okay.
Then we have a second location in an area called Tacoma,
Okay.
which is about 30 miles south.
Okay.
35 miles south. Both locations are primarily beer, wine, and cider. Family-friendly environment, dog-friendly as well.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's your niche, you can bring the family, you
Yeah.
can bring the pets and dogs, and you can have awesome. We thank you so much. I'm glad we have the opportunity to sit down and talk with you. We definitely have a lot of questions, and Jay, what's your question?
Okay, so my first question for you is, for people here in the area, what again, you told us a few things, but what specifically makes you different than the other beer or wineries around the town?
One, the sheer size of the menu.
Okay.
We've got 48 taps at this location,
Wow.
and then we've got 50 at the other location.
Okay.
And then also the size of the place. Not often are you really finding tap rooms that are kid friendly.
Okay.
And so having that one thing is
That is big, kid
is
friendly.
huge.
Yeah. We're all moms, so we know.
So it definitely makes a big difference and separates us in a lot of ways.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. What about you, Vic?
I like the fact that you are beer and wine.
Yes.
And what else did you say?
Cider.
That's
Cider. Yeah, cider. And I love cider. Why couldn't I think of that?
Okay. Look, we got some cider.
Because normally you go to places and it's going to be just wine or it's just going to be just beer. And I like the fact that you have different things to offer.
Yes. Yeah. So tell us about tell us what we're gonna drink.
What you have right here is a flight. We do sample tastes or sample flights of 4. And you choose them. What we've chosen, we chose 2 ciders. Just wanted to keep it a little light.
Okay.
And most of the beverages that we sell, we try to source locally.
Okay.
We try to stay as close to us as possible, and then we stretch it out from there. We do have some things that are from California. We do have some things that are from Oregon. Some things that are a little north of Seattle as well. But again, we try to stay local. So you've got a couple of local ciders. You've got the Bowman's Peach Raspberry, and then you've got the Dragon's Head.
Okay.
Then you've got a Hellbent Hefeweizen, and then a Twin Sisters Good Morning Kolsch.
Okay.
So those are all going to be on the lighter side. Obviously, the ciders, ABVs on those, or alcohol by volume, is right about 5.5% to 6%. So it's not that bad, not that high.
What is your
I look
most
forward to
popular
tasting
beer?
that.
Most popular beer, I would have to say most popular style in this area are IPAs.
IPAs.
I just knew you were going to say that.
It's a big thing up here in the Pacific Northwest, and also hazies are a big thing right now. Just
Hazies?
Hazies?
Can you tell us about
what is
that?
that?
It's just they're not going to be as piney. They're not going to be as forceful as your typical IPAs. Some have better fruit qualities to them, lighter flavors, and then the alcohol is not that high, not usually that high, depending. But
Can you tell us about this wine that you got first?
Yeah.
Well, I started a little early.
Okay, let me take a sip.
So we're actually on the wine side. We're drinking. It's called In Sheep's Clothing, and it's by a very talented young brother out of Oregon. named Andre Mack. He also has a couple of different labels. He does his OPP, Pinot Noir.
Okay.
And he's just such a talented man. He's got got a lot going on, wearing a lot of hats. He's got a great YouTube channel as well. But it's nice, one, being a fan of the grape, two, to see another young black man excel at it and do well. So
Awesome. So tell us about your network. So, I know in this community, it's a wonderful community if everyone could see it and come out and, enjoy it. But, what is your network of, other distributors or other places, around in this area that you kind of support or, want to talk about?
So again, we try to stay as local as possible.
Okay.
So the closest brewery to us is called Future Primitive. They're just a couple of blocks away. Then we have Best of Hands, and then you have other ones, Counterbalance, Sea Pine. They start to get a little farther away.
Okay.
But because we like the little guy, we focus on the little guy. But then we also have a greater network in that we've got some larger distributors that have a bigger portfolio. So they have a little more to offer. But we definitely try to rock with the little guy.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because us coming from we're from Texas, coming here, we think about Washington State and we think of the bigger wineries and the bigger vineyards. I know there are a lot of like tap rooms and tasting rooms, and you've kind of connected us with some true new things to come to Washington State for in this particular area. So I definitely appreciate that because we would have come and gone to some of the big names that we get in our grocery stores and stuff. And this is like, oh my gosh, it's a whole new world of not just those big brands that we see.
Exactly.
So you told us about some of the smaller brands. Can you mention those again?
Absolutely. There's Roti Cellars. Here we have what they call the Soto Wine District.
Okay, Soto.
And so you've got Roti Cellars, you've got Sleight of Hand, you've got Nine Hats, you've got Structure Cellars.
Okay.
House of Pain, which is a champagne tasting room. You've got Lotta Wines, LATTA, Lotta Andrew.
Okay.
And they're just it's a great way to experience some of the best winemaking in the Pacific Northwest. These guys and ladies are very, very talented with what they do, and they really support my business, and so
do you carry any of that?
We do. I carry all of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I carry all of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can try some of that too.
We try to support local, but I'm a big fan of the grapes. So
it's delicious.
I've spent a lot of time with a lot lot of people in the industry. And, done a little studying myself. So
That's awesome. That's great.
Go ahead. I see you also have some food here too. What can you tell us a little bit about the food, and what you have to go with the wine and the beer?
Indeed. So we don't have a kitchen, so we don't prepare or anything like that. But we have a lot of grab and go snacky stuff. We try to have some little nice charcuterie meats and cheeses and olives and different things like that. We've got chips and local cheeses and then there's sweet things, candy, chocolate, chocolate bars and little snacks for kids.
Go great with wine.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you allow people to bring in like their own
Indeed. We allow outside food to come in.
Okay.
So we've always rocked that way, and it seems to work real well for us here, especially because there's so many other places that surround us.
That's cool.
That so many other restaurants and stuff. Yeah.
Is this kind of a shop and go too? Because you got your coolers and the people just kind of come in and just do their shopping and just kind of get out,
grab some beer and go.
The hope is always someone's going to come in, sit down, have a pint, and if they're leaving, or have a pint or two,
grab
and
some
and take home.
This is good. I think I'm going to bring this home. Yeah. I have an event. What about people who are having events? Do you get big orders that
not like that, but people are going to parties, little local parties and such. They'll come in and grab some sparkling.
Okay. Do you have any events here? Do you have anything coming up this summer that people can come to?
Well, because of the pandemic, we had to put the kibosh on the things that we've been doing. So we would feature a local brewery of the month and a local winery of the month. And then we would have them come out, and if it was a brewery, they do a 4-tap takeover so that we could present what it is they do and how they do it. And usually the brewmaster or someone that reps the brewery or winery pretty highly would come out and work the room. And
Oh,
the
okay,
same-
that's pretty good.
The same with wineries. We would invite a winery out. Typically, the winemaker would come, and we would have tastings, and they'd work the room and answer questions about their label, and we rep them for the entire month, and
Any
social
thoughts
media
about
and
what
all.
you plan on doing like this summer? Hey, now people are out now.
Let me see.
I'm telling you, gotta get out. When they're getting out, they want to be a part of something, and great. I can bring my kids. They can bring the dog.
You know what I'm thinking? Maybe like a jazz musician or
bring
somebody
I love that.
singing.
Bring some music in here.
We need somebody to do some promotion for you.
I think it would work better at my other location.
At your other
because
location.
I've got a great outside area there.
okay,
Nice
that's
big
cool.
patio.
Yeah.
Is there a
and,
patio here? I
There is a
wasn't real
patio
sure.
here.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
It's just out back. But it's not as hip. It's not as clean as the
Okay.
other locations. but
You
yeah.
got,
It's a
I mean,
very
you got
nice
the
place.
sports vibe. You got the
Yeah.
sports bar. You got
TVs,
the big.
you can watch the
This is kind of like
game.
everything you
Have
would want to
beer.
do.
Yeah.
So, during this whole pandemic, how have you survived? How have you made it through?
Government assistance was real.
Hey,
Okay,
hey,
yeah, absolutely.
we understand
It
that.
was, and it was community.
Okay,
that's what I was thinking.
We weren't allowed to have people inside, but there was a small swap of time where I would open during the week, and people would come through,
Okay,
and they would come through and they would buy what they could. But again, the government funding was what really put us in a different place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that being said, how long have you been open?
So this location opened May 24th of 17.
okay.
And
Okay.
then the Tacoma location opened December 4th of 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. So
Okay.
yeah, you've been
Yeah, you
while
you
now.
started off before, and
Yeah.
you still here. That's
And
all
you
right.
survived and
Yeah.
thriving
Yeah.
during the pandemic, which is really exceptional.
Yeah. So what other things are you doing, like social media? Do you do any social
We
media?
we have a pretty strong social media presence,
Okay.
both Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
On Twitter a little bit, not nearly as much.
Okay.
But the menu boards that we have called Digital Pour. We have Instagram, posts that'll pop
Wow,
up.
okay.
People will tag themselves here at Beer Star while they're having a glass of wine.
So
or,
we can
or
come
beer.
on Instagram. We can see what you've got, because we want to try that black Shiraz. We can see that.
Yeah.
Jet black.
Shiraz. Maybe for the Jet Set Divas.
we're interested in that because it got the word Jet in it.
Yeah, Jet, Jeanette, Yvette, Tina,
We had to try that.
Yeah,
so
that
so
works
you
out.
can go on Instagram or Facebook and look and see if you got that in stock. That's
But
cool.
also, Digital Pour has a mobile app. And we
Okay,
try to
wow,
encourage people to get that because it
That's
has a
innovative.
geolocator
Yeah.
on it. It'll show you the places closest to you that have Digital Pour.
Okay.
But it'll also, if you were at home and you just wanted to see what Beer Star had going on,
Okay.
you can tap on Beer Star and
what
everything
you
that we
got.
have.
That's
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Y'all have any other questions, ladies?
I don't have
this has been
anything.
awesome.
This sucks. Yeah.
Anything you like to share? Anything
No,
you want
just
to?
appreciate you all coming out.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
fantastic.
you.
I'm glad you had the time because
Yeah.
you know what we know we sometimes bombard places and I'm happy that we were able to
That's
talk
how
to
we
you
do.
ahead of time. Yeah, I was like, we got a chance to talk ahead of time. 'Cause sometimes we would have just walked in here and we may have brought somebody like, what the heck going on? But we planned it a little bit. But I'm glad you had some time. I know you were very busy and you got 2 locations to run, but definitely appreciate the time. The wine is great.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
it is.
Cheers,
We're
ladies.
finna try this cider.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes, thank you.
And we're going to try this
And I
beer.
see you got that Beer Star hat going on. Do you sell
We
any
do. We
T-shirts,
have,
hats, and
T-shirts and hats.
Okay,
and-
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sweatshirts
Okay, so
and-
that's good to know.
we got a
That's
little merch
good to
going
know.
on.
Yeah, so half the battle is people like their branding and merchandising.
Yeah.
They do that.
Indeed.
Awesome. So thank you so much
No,
for
thank you all.
allowing
Thank you
us
all,
to
yeah.
enjoy your place, and we look forward, and we definitely want everyone online. We're gonna be pubbing this,
Yeah, Beer
all
Star.
this location. I didn't even know about White Center until I looked this area up, and it's great because. I really supposed to be moving here, but I've been looking around. I'm like, maybe I can consider this as a location to possibly move.
Yeah.
And
I want to try some of this. Like we need to talk about this real quick.
And did you bring us is this the Jet Black Syrah?
That is the Jet Black Syrah.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
See,
that's for Jeanette.
before you
Jeanette's gonna
drink,
taste that and tell us all about it.
I sure will.
yes, we are, and so I guess we'll go ahead and close out.
We can close out. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you for the Jet Black Shiraz. And better come in here and get this. I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Yvette.
And I'm Tina, and we are the Jet Setting Divas. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Cheers.
So cheers.
Cheers. Oh, thank you so much. We're a little quirky or whatever, but you know what? We be getting it done sometimes. So.
Tune in next Thursday when the Jet Setting Divas will tell you about another fun destination spot that you'll want to visit. For more on their excursions, log on to ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.